This
And
conference will now be recorded.
all right, let's start recording. Okay, so I'm teaching calligraphy with a passion for preserving Chinese calligraphy and sharing the Chinese culture with all of you here. All right. All right, today I'll be introducing you the basic of Chinese calligraphy. Chinese calligraphy has more than 3,000-year history, and it's viewed as not just a form of decorative art, but also a means of self-expression and also cultivation as well. And it's a truly representation of Eastern culture. Calligraphy in Chinese is called 书法, and 书 means the book, 法 means the way. Put it together, it means it's the way the book is written. So, which is the art of calligraphy. Okay. So let me introduce you the the supplies we have for today. And we have here 3 Chinese brushes. So you can tell there are 3 different sizes. Chinese brushes make up the brushes make up ox hair, goat hair, and fox hair. And fox hair is the most expensive type. So this is the smallest one. So then go for the smallest fonts, and we call it Xiaokai. And this is the middle part, middle brush, and we call it Zhongkai. And this is the largest one. This is for the biggest fonts. We call it Dakai. Besides the brushes, you should have a bottle of ink. I mean, in the old days, people use ink stone and just grind on it. And now we can just get something much simpler, just a bottle ink. And then you have a little tray, so you can hold your ink into it. It's just a little dish that you can pour your ink into it. All right. The next thing you have is a bottle of water, and you just soak your brush into it. And then after you soak it, and make sure you get rid of the excessive water, and then try and make it a point. Okay. The next thing we have is paper. So this is the paper I have. As you can see, the paper, you have the grips on it. So this is the box you're gonna fit into your work. So very good for beginner because it gives you some visualization on how your work is gonna be. And this paper we call it 宣纸. It has two sides. One side it's much smoother. Like this side is smoother, and this side it's not as smooth. The reason is because we're using the smoother side for writing because uh, it has a less friction with the brush when you write on it. All right. So next thing about your posture. So writing on right now I'm sitting, so this is the table I have. And then besides the in between the table and your paper, I have a little uh, black cup, and I just want to protect the ink do not like soak into the table. And then how far you think for you to uh, sit, I would say about like the fist length in between you and the table. Okay. So the next thing about holding the brush. So this is my brush. You see that? And I do not want to hold it too high, either too low. You see how I'm gonna write if I'm going too low, which is this leverage I can use. But too high, um, you don't get, I mean, that's the leverage on this. I think it's perfect. Just stay in the middle part. That's ideal. And holding the brush is different than holding a pen. Um, so you have the second and then the third finger in front. On the back, you see I have my fourth and the fifth finger supporting it, and then my thumb is just pushing at this part. So this is how it looks like on the back. So without it, it looks like something like, so this is with the pen, with the brush, and without a brush, it's something like this. And when you're writing on it, try not get so stiff on your wrist because you want to be flexible and relaxed. And use your entire arms writing on it. So the good way for practicing is not sitting and writing. Actually, it's standing. It's a very good position for you because at that time you can use your entire arm, and you eventually you will get some muscle memory. When you're sitting down writing a stroke and your hands and your arms do not shake. So I highly recommend you guys to try it at home and put the standing position. All right. Yes, feel free to type in any question you have at any time. I think Tina is going to monitor and we'll answer your question as soon as we see it.
have a question for you. In
Mhm.
relationship to standing, are you standing in front of a normal size table, or is the table elevated? Is the paper on the table elevated, or?
Yeah, so I mean, in the old days, we don't have the elevated table.
Yeah.
So we just standing at their it's just a regular table you have. So
Okay. It's not like a drafting table or something that can be, like, I have one of the very desks that I can lift up and down and stand, but that isn't, I wouldn't lift it and then put it on the upper table. I would put it on the lower normal height table and work there. Okay.
yeah, it depends on the table. But most important, you want to get it like a horizontal surface and then stick, and you do not want to get a table. It's like you can move it around and stuff like that. So
Okay.
sturdy, it's the word. Okay. All right, let's switch the camera. I can show you some of the basic stroke for today. Okay. Can you guys see my camera?
I can, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, let's start with the horizontal stroke. So you have the book here. So this is the arrows and supposed to be how your brush is going to move along with the stroke. So you lift up your brush and you're going to the opposite direction. You turn it down and then you move it across horizontally. And then here you move up a little bit and press down. And then this is going up again, and this is how you're going to end your brush. So this is the horizontal stroke. Okay. Now let me demonstrate you with the horizontal stroke. So you lift up your brush. Going opposite. Press it down. when you close it and you just run it up to the end. Okay, it's a horizontal stroke. Again, lift up your brush. Go with the opposite direction. Then you're going up a little bit and press it down. And then run it up. Okay, so the next word I'm gonna write, it's the number 3. In Chinese, it's called san. So very basic. You just need to have 3 horizontal strokes. So the first and the second stroke, you want to get identical. And the last stroke will be the longest stroke you have. So this is the word number 3, san. And whose favorite number is number 3? Okay, one more time. All right. Next row, we're gonna write, it's the vertical stroke. So vertical stroke, you start with the tip of your brush, and then you're going up, and then you press it down a little bit, and then all the way here. When you close to your ends, you can either close it to the right and round it up, or you can close to the left. And then going up. So this is the vertical stroke. So lift up your brush, going up. So at this point, you can either round it up on the right, okay. So tip of your brush, going opposite direction. And you will round it up at this. This is how you're gonna end your vertical stroke. Okay, let's write a word. It's called 正, means like rectangle. Okay, so the first stroke is a horizontal stroke. Second stroke would be the vertical. And then you have a little short horizontal stroke. So this is the word 正. We can use as like right or rectangle. It means like square. Okay, one more time. So this is a very good word that you can practice the horizontal and vertical because it's just a combination of those two strokes. So again, when you're writing on the paper or on this script, you think of how big you're gonna write and where you want your words gonna position. So if I want the word to be in the middle part of this script, in this box, and I just want my words to try to fit into here. Okay. So
When you write words, I noticed that you put the little short vertical line on before you put the long horizontal line. Is there an order to how you put your horizontal and vertical together, or do you? I guess it,
so this is, yeah, go, sorry.
Well, I mean, when we were I remember learning to write when I was a child in like a lowercase a. You didn't put the straight vertical line on first. You kind of did them more circular. So I didn't know if there was an order to how you put your words together.
Yeah, so for this word, the order of the stroke is you have the first, this is the horizontal stroke, it's the first order. And then the second stroke, it's the vertical, right? And then this is the third stroke, and then the fourth stroke, and then the fifth stroke. And this is the right order to finish this word. Okay, let's try something simpler word. It's called gong. That means work. So we only have 3 strokes here. And then the second stroke, it's a vertical stroke. And this is the word called gong means work. Okay, so the next stroke we're gonna learn is downward stroke to the left. So as you can see, this is the arrow, and you just move it up, and then press it down, and then from the center of your brush, and you just go towards to the left. So you press it down. So again, you lift up your brush, and you, that's the tip of your brush, and you go into the opposite direction. Here you're going to press it to the left. Okay, so let's write a word called sung means life. So the first stroke is that just we learn. So downward stroke to the left. second stroke would be the horizontal stroke. And then the vertical stroke. And the last horizontal stroke, you make it a little longer. This is the word life. So again, before you're gonna write the next word, I recommend you guys to look into this word and see, compare with the book, the calligraphy book you have, side by side. Right? So you will see, oh, I want to make this shorter. I want to make this longer. So you're gonna make an adjustment for your next word. So do not go to write your next word immediately. So you stop and think about it first.
What book are you using?
Yeah, it's just a very basic calligraphy book that I have for a very long time.
Okay.
So this is Liu Gongchen. Liu Gongchen means just the calligrapher's name, and then Jie Shu Tie. Jie Shu means it's a neat calligraphy workbook. So here we have a very something basic stroke for a beginner.
Okay, because we didn't distribute a workbook with it, but it would be possible for, I'm sure we've got calligraphy books in our library, but something that they could follow along with. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea that people follow a calligraphy book. It's not because we are copying somebody's words, but because we are trying to get the essence of the work from the book. So I will definitely send out a PDF of a few pages of this book.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, after this class.
Okay, and I will distribute it to the class, the people who are taking the class.
Yes.
Can I ask you about the pressure you're applying on your brush? It appears that you're really kind of doing, the pressure is a lot more than I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of a delicate touch, but you're forming the strokes by pushing down the brush a little to get a wider line.
Yeah, first, Yeah, it's not too light, because too light, you don't see a strand of the stroke. And then in between the stroke, you have some point that you have more pressure. Like at the beginning part, you have more pressure than when you cross it. This is less pressure. So, and then when you close to the end, you give it more pressure here. So it's varies on line by line. Okay, so let's try this word one more time. Okay, this is the word song. Let's move on for the next word. This is the word 知 means know or knowledge. So we have two parts. So the first part, okay. So this is the word 知 means knowledge. So here we're gonna make a horizontal stroke, but with the turning, you just press it at this angle. We run it up. Okay, so this is the word 知. All right. So let's just review all the stroke we have for today. Okay. So the first stroke we learned for today, it's a horizontal stroke. So again, you have the tip of your brush going to the opposite direction, press it down, you cross it toward the end, go down, close it. Okay. Second stroke is a vertical stroke. Lift up your brush, press it down, toward the end, and you just round it up. So the last stroke, it's a downward stroke to the left. Lift up your brush, press it down, to the left. Okay. So yes, I'm gonna send out a few page of my calligraphy book after this class, and I hope you guys are practicing some of the words and stroke we have learned for today. And a side note about how to care your brush after you use it. So wash it immediately after you use it, and then use the cold running water. Do not use the hot and warm water because it's gonna damage your brush. And then you form it a pointy tip and just hand it on there, just hand it there. So you do not need any like paper or towel to observing. So it's just try to keep your brush protected.
No
Alright.
soap, it's water.
Yeah, just clear water. All right. Tina, do we have any questions from our participant today?
We have not had any questions. As we wrap up, I will again forward the PDFs to everyone, and the recording of this class will be posted sometime Monday morning, and you can use that to go back and practice, and then we will do part 2 next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern time. Okay.
Great. Yeah, I think for next class we're gonna more new stroke as well. And if you guys have any words or calligraphy you want me to write for next class, so feel free to email Tina or me. And my Gmail email address. My email address is just jojo.calligraphy@gmail.com.
Yes, and a good generic email address for me that's easy to remember is library@lakewalesfl.gov. So if you have any questions you want me to forward to JoJo, I'm happy to do that, or it's jojo.calligraphy@gmail.com. And you might want to identify yourself as a Lake Wales Public Library student. I don't know, but yeah, we will pass on the materials, and we did have about 14 people registered, and I only see 2, unless we had a couple of husband and wives, so maybe they're watching together. But we will pick this back up, and so nice to meet you. And if there's no questions from anybody, then we will say till next week.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Goodbye.